Welcome to Creative TV. Today we're headed over to the Arches National Park in Moab, Utah.
We have a lot. Jeez. Going to the viewpoint, delicate art viewpoint.
Well, that's when we got to hike 1,000 yards.
No, that's not the one. It's the delicate art at the Wolf Ranch.
Which one we got to hike to?
Yes, that's the one that we can hike and get closer.
I wonder how far we can go with this. She could. That's a nice picture of that. That's you do things on the way. Boom, 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 boom. You never do things backwards.
Oh my God! What is it doing?
Alright, now that we are inside the Arches National Park, we'll be making 3 stops along our journey. First stop will be at the windows. The second stop will be at the Delicate Arch. And when we get to the Delicate Arch, I'll go ahead and show you the exact trail, the full trail that leads you from the parking lot to the Delicate Arch. And then after that, we'll be making our way down to the sand dunes. So stay with us and let's jump into the video. Now when we get to the Delicate Arch Trail, you'll see a lot of camera movement. That's because I have a GoPro attached to my hat, so I'm constantly moving. But you'll see the whole trail that leads you up to the Delicate Arch. Alright, so let's get into the video. Here we go. Oh, and one more thing regarding the hike to the Delicate Arch. The hike is a moderate hike, so just keep that in mind. Thrilling beauty. The window section is considered by some to be the beating heart of Arches National Park. The area contains a large concentration of arches and is one of the most scenic locations in the park. North Window, Turret Arch, and the Double Arch are just a few of the awe-inspiring expansions that you'll find in just over 2 square miles inside the park. Alright, here's where our journey begins on the hike to the Delicate Arch. This right here is the Wolf Ranch, also known as the Turnbull Cabin. John Wesley Wolf settled in the location in 1898 with his oldest son, Fred. A nagging leg injury from the Civil War prompted Wolf to move west from Ohio looking for a drier climate, and so he built this cabin right here. When you have time, go ahead and read up on the cabin and you'll learn a lot more regarding the cabin. There's also another cabin behind the main cabin, and that one was built for his daughter. And you can go ahead and read up on that one. Once we get around this cabin, that's when the journey actually begins to the hike to the Delicate Arch. And it's a very cool hike, so here we go. Now this bridge is right next to the cabins, and once you reach this bridge, that's when the trail actually begins up to the Delicate Arch. And I thought this bridge was pretty cool. It's a metal bridge. Once you cross it, you're on your path to the Delicate Arch. Now, throughout the trail, you'll see poles in the ground that says trail. All you gotta do is follow the poles and it'll lead you to the Delicate Arch. Also, the trail to see the Delicate Arch up close and personal is about a 3-mile round trip hike and climbs about 480 feet. So there you have it, just to give you a heads up on that. The Delicate Arch has become the stone icon. People from all over the world come to visit the Arches National Park. Also, the Delicate Arch has been recognized as a symbol of the state of Utah. The light opening beneath the arch is 46 feet high and 32 feet wide, making it the largest freestanding arch in the park. The term delicate first appeared in a January 1934 article about the Arches National Monument scientific expedition, which described it as the most delicately chiseled arch in the entire area. All right, so this big platform area right here that you're looking at, I highly recommend taking a break. It's big enough. When we were there, a lot of people were taking breaks. So I recommend taking a 5-10 minute break just to hydrate yourself and get some more nutrients in your body before continuing the hike. So this is a very good spot for that. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so off to the right is the Delicate Arch parking lot that leads to the trail. And I zoomed in with my camera. Now I'm going to zoom it out so you can see just how far this hike really is. Right now we're about an hour into the hike and we're just about on the top of that rock that you were just watching. So there you have it. So we still got about 30 more minutes of hiking left until we reach the Delicate Arch. So just to give you a heads up, it is quite a ways. All right, so once we cross over this big rock, that's when the trail starts to change. You'll start crossing through soft sand, soft dirt. You start crossing through some decent-sized rocks going up and down before you get to the arc. So it's very important that you do wear some sort of hiking shoes or hiking boots. You will save your feet. So definitely make sure you do take some sort of hiking shoes or boots with you. It will save your feet, and you will appreciate it when you finish the hike. Okay, again, I can't stress of how important it is to pay attention to those hiking poles that are in the ground. Just follow the poles, and they will lead you to the arc. So the area is pretty big, and it's not hard to get lost. So keep on the trail by following the poles that are in the ground. So again, the hike is a moderate hike, and right here is a soft sand dirt. And this is where you would definitely feel more comfortable if you had some hiking shoes or boots on, because it can get a little bit slippery. So if you have kids, the kids can do this hike as well, like I said earlier. But watch your kids, because there is a lot of rocks here, and like I said, it's soft sand, and we don't want nobody getting hurt. So this area right here, just visualize it, memorize it in your head. I did get sidetracked for a second and I was going over to the right. Now you have to stay to the left. If you go to the right, you're not going to get anywhere. So just keep that in mind. So stay to the left, and also you have to, once I get, well, you see right here where I made the mistake, trying to get around this big rock to the right, which you can't do it. So you have to go back to the left. As you can see, it doesn't lead to nowhere. So I got sidetracked there just for a couple minutes. So stay to the left. Once you go around this area to the left, you have to jump down a rock to continue to get to the arch. So just keep that in mind. So as I was telling you a minute ago, stay to the left, and this is what I'm talking about right here. So this area along the edge, you can see you have to go down like a rock or two. So you can jump down anywhere along this area. You have to just jump this one little edge down to the second plank of rock right there, and then you can just walk down to the flat ground, which will take you to the arch. So again, I made the mistake of veering off to the right because the arch is off to the right. But in reality, you have to stay to the left and go around this pond. And then there's some little stairways that goes up to another platform set of rocks that will lead you to the arch. So always stay to the left and it'll eventually merge you over to the right. So as I was saying a minute ago, how I got sidetracked and started hiking off to the right. As you can see, I can't go anywhere. So I had to turn back and go back down the flatland, and then it'll lead me back up to this area right here, but you have to go around that pond area. So don't make the same mistake I did. Just stay to the left and eventually it'll take you to the arch to the right. All right, so now that we are on the correct path, we are moments away from reaching the delicate arch. Now, the weather was nice and calm, but as soon as we made the turn around that big old rock, the winds were pretty high. They were about, I want to say, 45 to 50 miles an hour. So we couldn't get to the arch. I just didn't feel safe with the wind blowing that hard. A few people did go down to the arch, but I played it safe and I got pretty close, but not as close as I wanted to get, but I had to think about safety first. So around this corner, around this rock right here, you'll see the delicate arch, which was so awesome. It's a beautiful thing to see. We'll eventually make a way back again to get to the delicate arch up and close. But this time around, like I said, the wind was just it was blowing really, really hard, so it wasn't worth the risk. So here we go. All right, so we finally made it to the delicate arch. There it is. That thing is so beautiful. But like I said, the winds were just too high. I didn't want to go any closer than that and taking the possibility of having to fall or having the wind blow me off a rock. Like I said, the wind was about 50 miles an hour, so it was blowing pretty hard. So that's the only reason why we didn't get any closer, but for me, that was good enough for the time being. And like I said, we'll eventually hike back up there later in the year and get closer to the delicate arch. But for right now, I'm pretty happy with the footage I did get and being up there next to the arch. That was so cool. And again, this is the overlook of up to the delicate arch, and here it is again. So you got to cross those rocks in order to get to the delicate arch, and with the wind that high, I just didn't feel comfortable. So now we're making our way back down the trail, which I'm not going to show you the way back down. I already showed the trail coming up. It's the exact same way going down. But other than that, that's the delicate arch, and then in a minute we'll head on over to the sand dunes. But in the meantime, here's a short footage of us just going back down. So as I was saying a minute ago about the winds being pretty high, I turned the volume up on the video just a little bit so you can hear the wind. That'll give you an idea just how hard it was blowing. Alright, so we finally made it down the trail, heading towards the parking lot. So let's head on over to the sand dunes and let's check out the sand dunes, our last stop. Alright, so we finally made it to the Sand Dune Arc Trail. But before we go over to the Sand Dune Arc, we're going to be taking a short hike on the Broken Arc Trailhead. And this is something you definitely want to see. You do not want to miss it. The trailhead is located at the north end of the parking lot, directly east of the formation of the fins that Sand Dune Arc is a part of. The Sand Dune Arc, the trail up to the Sand Dune Arc becomes quite narrow for a few hundred yards, but like I said, it's a very easy hike. Anybody can do it. But in the meantime, let's check out the Broken Arc first, and this is something you definitely want to see. All right, to the right is the Broken Arch, and just look how beautiful that is. It's just gorgeous. Definitely need to take a picture, take video. That's a memory of a lifetime right there. You'll never forget it. It's just a gorgeous sight, gorgeous art. It's just beyond words. It's beautiful. Alright, once again, thanks for visiting Creative TV, and we'll see you back at the next video.